Premier League Southampton vs Brighton Hove Albion prediction, team news, lineups preview. South Coast bragging rights are on the line once again on Saturday afternoon, where Premier League whipping boys Southampton will welcome Brighton Hove Albion to St Mary's. The Saints edged closer to a swift championship return owing to last weekend's 3-1 loss to Bournemouth, while the Seagulls were feeling the love in a 3-0 win over Chelsea on Valentine's Day. Match preview. As it turned out, slaying relegation rivals Ipswich Town on February 1st did not trigger a sustained revival for Ivan Djuric's Southampton, who are still heading down their one-way street back to the second tier after suffering their 20th top-flight loss of the season. Being dumped out of the FA Cup by Burnley had already killed any momentum from their recent triumph at Portman Road, and the Saints fell victim to a Ryan Christie masterclass last weekend, as the Bournemouth midfielder delivered a delightful cross for Dango Ouattara to head home before firing in a 20-yard strike of his own. Kamaldeen Sulemana's fine finish gave Southampton hope while Bournemouth took their foot off the gas, but the Cherries belatedly woke up again and restored their two-goal cushion through Marcus Tavernier to leave the 9-point Saints 10 adrift of safety in the Premier League table. To say that the St Mary's faithful have had little to cheer in the 2024-25 top flight would be a gross understatement, as Southampton have now suffered a shocking 7 home losses in a row in the Premier League. Only 3 teams have ever lost 8 on the spin, most recently Watford in 2021-22. Taking leads has not been where the hosts' issues have lied this term, but keeping hold of advantages most certainly has been, as they have dropped a whopping 20 points from winning positions in the Premier League campaign, the second most in the top division behind Tottenham Hotspur's 21. Such a grim statistic does not bode well against a Brighton side who recovered from a losing position to dump Chelsea out of the FA Cup 4th round, before repeating their Blues trick in much more emphatic fashion when Enzo Maresca's side visited again on February 14th. An outrageous Kaoru Mitoma touch and finish kicked off the Seagulls' slaughter before Yankuba Minte and Danny Welbeck stole the show, the former benefiting from 2 assists from the latter to bag a brace for himself and end Brighton's 2-game losing run in the top flight, seemingly fully recovered from their 7-0 embarrassment at the hands of Nottingham Forest at the start of the month. Fabian Hürzeler's men have consolidated their top half standing in 10th position in the table, now 6 points behind recent victims Chelsea in the top 6. However, the Seagulls have tended to fare better against high-ranking teams in the 2024-25 Premier League season, as while they have triumphed in 46% of their matches with sides in the top half, they have only won 25% of games versus clubs in the bottom 10. Brighton's struggles versus lower-table teams were laid bare in November's 1-1 home draw against Southampton, although that stalemate at least extended the Seagulls' unbeaten run over the Saints to 6 matches since a 2-1 home loss in December 2020, where a Danny Ings penalty sealed the deal. Team news. Southampton boss Djuric had a positive double injury update to share in Thursday's press conference, confirming that Flynn Downes and Jack Stevens had shaken off knocks and are set to be available for the visit of Brighton. However, neither Adam Lallana hamstring nor Taylor Harwood-Bellis ankle are fit to play just yet, while Ryan Fraser unspecified and Ross Stewart calf are also taking up beds in the treatment room, having combined for the Saints' consolation goal in their loss to Bournemouth. Sulemana and Paul Onuachu, who has now been involved in 3 goals in his last 4 Premier League games, should continue up front at the expense of the highly rated Tyler Dibling. As for Brighton, Hürzeler is currently sweating over the status of 3 players for the weekend, as Lewis Dunk Rib, Solly March Fitness and Purvis Estupinan unspecified are all on the touch-and-go list at the time of writing. Jason Steele shoulder, James Milner-Thigh, Igor Julio-Thigh and Ferdi Kadioglu-Toe are 4 longer-term absentees for the Seagulls, whose head coach will surely see no reason to shuffle the pack after the crushing of Chelsea. Minte struck a delightful double despite being shoehorned into a wing-back role, and the 20-year-old could continue in that unfamiliar slot as Jorginho Rutter, Mitoma and Welbeck join forces further up the field. Southampton possible starting lineup: Ramsdale, Bree, Bednarik, Stevens, Sugawara, Aribo, Ugachukwu, Walker-Peters, Fernandez, Sulemana, Onuachu. Brighton Hove Albion possible starting lineup: Verbruggen, Minte, Van Heck, Webster, Veltman, Lamptey, Rutter, Baliba, Hinchelwood, Mitoma, Welbeck. We say, Southampton 0-3 Brighton Hove Albion. Brighton may be guilty of too many slip-ups against sides whom they would be expected to ease past. But the Seagulls' poor record versus bottom 10 teams should prove meaningless at St. Mary's. The visitors have never lost a Premier League game on Southampton's turf and were irresistible when Chelsea came to town. So they should run into few problems dispatching the basement boys with ease. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.